Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. Kindly subscribe to our channel. Defending the Kenya Kwanza government is becoming very difficult because this is a government that was formed on pure fallacy and lies. And for you to defend and sustain the government, then you must have an insatiable appetite for lies so that you can maintain. I've always maintained on this channel that if you obtain something through lies, whether it is a marriage that has been developed on lies, you acquire your partner using fallacy, then for you to maintain that marriage, you must continue with lies. And the government officials have been given a blueprint on how to lie to sustain Ruto's agenda. You know, late William Ruto has decided to tell Kenyans that his agenda is being stopped by unscrupulous Kenyans who collude and connive with the corrupt judges, as he says it, so that they can stop NHIF, they can stop the housing levy. And one of the people who are given this task to go and defend William Ruto is none other than Cleopas Malala, the UDA Secretary General. So he was in Spice FM, and he did not know that the moderators were prepared, because anytime you want to engage a Kenya Kwanza staff or official, then you know that they're coming with propaganda. So they were prepared for them. And I want you to take a look at what happened and how he was roasted, and he was trying to misrepresent facts, and he was told this is how things must be done.
In as much as the judiciary is independent, but it is there to serve the people of Kenya. The president, just like any other Kenyan, has the right to express his dissatisfaction on how the judiciary is performing. Remember, the former CJ said that the issue of corruption in the judiciary is a matter that needs to be addressed. The former CJ Maraga, when he was handing over to Koome, also said that this issue of judicial corruption must be addressed. Severally, we've had CJ Koome, Martha Koome, addressing the same issue. The former president, Uhuru Kenyatta, called out the judiciary and complained about certain decisions of the courts. The leader of opposition, Raila Odinga, has been in the forefront castigating the judiciary. So what is wrong with the president who has been mandated by Kenyans through Article 1, through a competitive election, just saying that, come on, he is dissatisfied with certain orders of the court that are inhibiting development? And you've seen orders that do not have the interest of the people at heart. One, for example, who is this judge that gives an order that you suspend an health insurance cover, knowing that 4 million students are opening school now without NHIF, just because there's an order? So who will treat these children? Will that order treat the children when they fall sick? Just a moment.
Did the order stop NHIF from operating?
They suspended the implementation of the new scheme. That is one.
NHIF is still in operation.
No. It's when you go to the hospital, they're not. NHIF is not operational.
Why is it not in operation?
Because there is an order in court suspending the implementation of the new law.
But that does not prohibit NHIF as it was previously operational.
I can tell you at the moment, hospitals are not using the NHIF card.
Why?
Second,
not because of a court order.
Just a moment. Second, who is this judge that gives an order that, come on, stop all development projects when it comes to the housing, the affordable housing program? The hundreds and thousands of youth who are getting employment out of the affordable housing project, who will pay their rent? So let us look at these things
Mheshimiwa.
objectively. And we as Kenyans, just a moment.
Let's discuss facts as they are.
Eric, just a moment.
There is no court order that says stop constructing houses. Is there?
No, it is a
There is a
program.
court order that is in response to a challenge to the housing levy. And it is suspending the housing levy, although the court still said you can still continue collecting the levy. But there's another court, a different matter altogether, on discussing the proposed affordable housing bill in public participation. None of them has said stop constructing houses. So when the president goes in a political rally and says, nyinyi mnataka tuache kujenga nyumba mpaka ile siku koti itatuambia tujenge nyumba, is he being truthful?
You know, Cleopas Malala, just like their boss William Ruto and the entire UD staff, believe that Kenyans are gullible, and they believe that they can lie to all people all the time. And I want us to look at the misrepresented facts there. What exactly was stopped in court, ladies and gentlemen? It is very clear. When the government came up with the new scheme in the NHIF, there were 3 acts that were passed in Parliament. After a long debate that some of the Azimio members of Parliament refused to be part of. And they passed what we call Social Health Insurance Fund Act 2023. And then we have the Primary Healthcare Act 2023, and then the Digital Health Act 2023. Those were the acts, 3 of them, that were passed in Parliament. And then, who exactly went to court? Because we are being told that it is Uhuru Kenyatta who is sponsoring some members of some Kenyans to go to court. Let us have facts. The people who went to court, number 1, is this body called the Kenya Medical Practitioners, Pharmacists and Dentist Union, the KMPDU, and the Kenya Association and the Kenya Medical Association. Those are the first people who went to court. And remember, these are the people in whose line of duty lies all these acts that were passed in Parliament. Because as you pass, because I've heard the government says that they are denying Kenyans a right to affordable medication. Now, the people who have got the responsibility to treat and provide these medical services are the people who went to court. And of course, there is another activist here called Joseph Aura. We need to know who went to court, because it is being said that some people went to court. These are the people who treat us. The doctors themselves went to court, because when you pass an act or a bill that now becomes an act of Parliament, you are saying that Kenyans are going to benefit. But the people who are supposed to provide the services have got question marks. And therefore, Judge Chacha Mwita looked at the prayers from these people, the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Pharmacists and Dentist Union and the Kenya Medical Association. And he looked at it and he said, let us stop the implementation of this, even though it has been passed in Parliament. Let us suspend until we hear the grievances. And that is the role of the court. Now, when Malala comes and tells us that the NHIF has been stalled and has been stopped, he is lying, because what has been stopped are the implementation of the new scheme. The old scheme continues to operationalize. It continues as it was. The only thing that has been suspended is the new scheme and its implementation. Number 2, when Malala says that someone has stopped the housing levy, he is not correct, because you all understand that in the last ruling in the Okia Mutata case, the judges found out that this scheme to take money, the housing levy from Kenyans, is very discriminatory and unconstitutional. But be that as it may, after intimidation, the judges still allowed the government to continue taking housing levy. It's still being deducted. It was supposed to end by 10th of this month, but the Attorney General went to court and it was extended. So let us have facts, and if you've realized there is something common among the Kenya Kwanza team, they do not allow the moderators time to explain. Like Malala was insisting that the judges suspended the housing levy, the judges suspended the NHIF, and when Latif is trying to correct him, they don't want to give time. He didn't want to give time. That is their characteristics. One of the things that the Kenya Medical Practitioners, Pharmacists and Dentist Union had some issues with is this provision here that says, I don't know whether you can see it there, it's a bit faint, but it reads this way. Any person who is registerable as a member in this act shall produce proof of compliance with the provision of this act on registration and contribution as a precondition, look at that, as a precondition of accessing public services from the national government, county government, or national and county government entities. And this body says, the union says it will disenfranchise Kenyan citizens from accessing government services. That before you go there, you have to prove it is a precondition that you are registered and you've been contributing, and this is why they went there. They are the people who deal with us directly. This government has developed and choreographed what we call now a blueprint. Do you know what they're saying? That, and William Ruto has said it many times, that people elected this government because of their manifesto to provide affordable healthcare and affordable housing. That is number one. And number two, that Parliament passed this agenda. And now they're saying that when they're about to implement it, now the courts are stopping it. Look at what Aaron Cheriot, who is the majority leader in the Senate, was saying.
Kwa hivyo mimi nataka kuambia, kama vile mimi na Hillary, wakati tunatunga sheria, tunafanya public participation na tunawauliza wananchi. Wewe kama judge, saa ile unataka kusimamisha program ambaye ita benefit wananchi wa kawaida. Kuja mpaka hapa Kipkelio niulize wananchi, wakuambie kama wata benefit from hiyo program ama hawata benefit, ndio upeane hiyo orders ambaye mnapeana. So that tusikuwe na taifa ambaye watu wachache tu wanakaa kule Nairobi na kusimamisha mipango mizuri ambaye rais ako nayo. Hiyo hatuwezi kukubali. Rais alipeana ahadi na sisi tunamdai. Na tunamwambia rais, usijaribu kubenduka. Hata wakati Martha Koome anakuita muende muongee, enda muongee, lakini umwambie wananchi wanakudai ile ahadi.
According to them, before any judgment, before a judge gives his ruling, then they must go and ask the people. I mean, how do we want our nation to run? That before a government, that the judges are being led by penal courts and they look at evidences before them. And of course, there is what we call public interest that they must take at heart. So they are saying that Koome and the team should be going pale mashinani. They go to the streets and ask people, how do you want us to rule on this case? Can it happen anywhere? Has it happened everywhere? Anywhere, I mean, that the judges must conduct public participation. This is unacceptable, ladies and gentlemen, and this appetite to lie to Kenyans is something that will continue to be rejected. You've seen them, you've even seen people in rallies ejecting William Ruto, shutting him down and all his allies because they don't want to listen to any more lies. Kenyans have access to journals and informations and they know exactly what is happening. But the politicians, the Kenya Kwanza politicians, believe that people are so imbecile that they cannot discern truth or lies from truth. This is pure dictatorship. It is either William Ruto's way or the highway. They must have their way. They are also using this for campaigns because you've seen them say that the rich do not want to pay so that the poor can have access to affordable housing and affordable medical services. And this is exactly what William Ruto said in 2022 during the campaigns. He had said that this was a campaign or a fight between the dynasties and the hustlers. And he made some people, it is a class war. He made some people believe that we are poor because some people took our land. That is why they had to go to Uhuru's Northern Farm, because some people had been, indoctrinated to believe that they are poor because some people took away their land, took away their resources. And he continues, he wants to perpetuate this kind of politics, whereby he creates a line, a backline between people who call themselves the rich and the poor. The other time they were on the streets, on the CBD, demonstrating, tunataka nyumba. You are being told unataka nyumba, hauna kazi. How will you even pay for the houses? And then someone tells you, anakupatia kazi ya mjengo, wakati utakapomaliza kujenga hii nyumba, even if it goes for 3 or 6 months, hauna kazi tena. You will not run to Ruto ya kwamba mimi nataka kazi tena. It is available as long as the houses are being constructed. And it is high time that we also look at the politicians with a fine-tooth comb and tell them when they are wrong. Kudos to Latif and the team. You should not give the Kenya Kwanza team a chance to lie to us.